Hi, I'm Redheaded Riding Hood, Red for short. I'm gonna read you William Barclay's, oh, my eagle fell over. I'm gonna read you William Barclay's Daily Celebration. And that's my eagle. Revolution, Part 1. Christopher Maud Chavez. Am I saying that right? I will put a link below, so I usually do. Who was Bishop of Rochester, was a man with a gift of public utterance. He could say things, and he could say them in such a way that people had to sit up and take notice, and so that they stuck in the memory. Early in the Second World War, he was talking about what was going to happen afterwards. He was thinking about the brave new world which everyone hoped would be born. Remember that book I had to read in high school? It wasn't supposed to be good. But anyways, he was remembering the failure to build any kind of new world after the First World War, which he so well remembered. So he said that when it came to facing a new situation, people had three different attitudes. There was the reactionary attitude, there was the revolutionary attitude, and there was the evolutionary attitude. Chavez was right. There are three possible attitudes to the challenge of any situation. There is the reactionary attitude. The reactionary attitude resents all change. It wishes to keep things as they are. It characteristically looks backwards. And it has a built-in tendency to say no when any new course of action is suggested. Very often, perhaps even as a general rule, the reactionary attitude springs from the determination to hold on to some state of privilege. The reactionary attitude was specifically evident when, 30 or 40 years ago, the social differences began to be ironed out. I knew of one lady who was shocked to the core of her being that a servant girl should go out wearing silk stockings. And I knew of another lady who was staggered to find that her servant girl was able to play the piano, a thing that the lower orders should never aspire to do. This was a long time ago, I think. This is exactly the modernization of Aristotle's attitude that by far the greater part of men are meant by nature to be slaves, hewers of wood and drawers of water, and that they existed simply to absolve the more cultured upper classes from the unpleasant labor of menial tasks. Oh my goodness. Aristotle thought that. Modernization of Aristotle's attitude. The reactionary attitude is rampant in the church. It may be seen in the desire to hang on to a certain form of constitution now long out of date, in the refusal to abandon a building from which the tide of population has receded, in the resentment of any change in any order of service, in the absolute refusal to experiment. The reactionary attitude lives in the past. It tries to stop the tide of progress, and it has an inevitable result. If you try to stop a tide which should not be stopped with some defensive dam, in the end that dam will burst, and the end is disaster. Change accepted is good. Change refused can turn to explosive destructiveness. Be willing to change. Tomorrow is Revolution Part 2. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Bye.